What's up guys, welcome back to our channel. So for today's video we are going to be interviewing our barely legal paralegal, which is Jay. We're gonna be interviewing Jay, guys, because he is working from home as of now with everything going on. So we get a lot of questions on our paralegal video that we did once, so I'm gonna be interviewing him and you guys are gonna be seeing his office from home. Guys, excuse the background. Jay was supposed to put that in our garage this weekend, so your office is cluttered.
I'm still working right now.
Okay. Main question. Do you need a paralegal degree to be a paralegal?
Short answer, no. Long answer, highly recommended if you want to get into this field. Majority of employers are looking for a paralegal certificate or at the very least some form of knowledge in paralegal work. If you don't have a certificate, you would want to look at startup firms. They're usually the ones that kind of look the other way because they're willing to groom you into, you know, whatever position they're trying to. And the reason why they do that is because they can hire you for low cost, pretty much the bare minimum, as opposed to someone with a certificate would want more money since they went to school and studied for it.
Yeah, the next question is, are you expected to kiss ass in the legal field office? I guess basically if you have to kiss ass to your attorney or your supervisor.
So that question doesn't apply necessarily for every firm. There are some firms that I would assume you do. The firm I work in, I don't have to kiss ass to anyone besides the main owner. If I see him, you know, walking around, but I hardly ever see him. But I'll speak from my experience. I don't have to kiss ass to anyone. Usually with my caseload, I'm able to work freely and do what I have to do with my cases, not have to worry about anyone micromanaging me on this firm. The previous firm, there was a little bit of a kissing ass with the handling attorney in my department, but I mean, for the most part, you kind of have to see the firm that you're applying for, the position you're applying for. It's kind of a come and go basis. It won't apply for everyone. The position I'm definitely in right now, I don't have to kiss ass to anyone, but I do see it in other firms, so it's kind of 50-50. I can't really say.
There's one person asking, how bad and how much is the problem solving? But that would just be based on your field, because there's many different fields.
Yeah, exactly. So my field.
So just to get it straight, Jay works in workers' comp.
Problem solving in my department is fairly high. There's different scenarios, from an issue with a client to an issue with a case, a law, like a specific labor code in general that whoever is, you know, applying in a specific report that we may not be agreeable to the defense, you know, would probably love. So yeah, in my field it's fairly high, and I would assume that in other specialties of the law it would apply the same. A lot of it has to do with the position that you're working in, though. If you're a legal assistant there, or like an office clerk, I would assume that there's very little, you know, problem solving, as opposed to if you're handling a more, you know, you have a higher position where you're handling more of a caseload, then absolutely. In my position as case manager, I want to say 95 to 97% of, you know, problem solving it falls on my shoulders when it comes to these cases. Realistically, I do the majority of the work, and then, you know, the attorney shows up and pretty much just settles everything at the end of the day. So it is fairly high. You do need to know what you're doing. You can't just fly under the radar.
And someone asked, would you say this is easier than a pharmacy technician, that they can't decide? Which is funny because I wanted to be a pharmacy technician. Well, I want to be one now, and I'd rather do that than do what you do, just from what you've told me and all that.
Yeah, well, it depends. I don't know what you would really have to do with pharmacy technician. What I will say, in my position, if you enjoy reading, and it's not going to be content that, you know, books that you like, but just in general, if you're good in English, you're good at reading comprehension, you can read stuff, comprehend it immediately, then I think you'll do well in this field. However, if that's just not for you, at the end of the day, it is an office job. It's a 9 to 5. You're going to be doing reading. You're going to be talking on the phone. You know, a lot of emailing, a lot of, you know, stuff like that. So if that's just not for you, then maybe pharmacy tech would be. I really don't know what goes into pharmacy tech, so I wouldn't be able to do the pros and cons. But if you're good at reading, comprehending, you're good at your vocabulary, speaking to clients, then you'll be good.
All right, I'm telling you, we have a lot of questions, so I think we're gonna have to do a follow-up video because you are on the clock and your office setup is so nice with your coffee.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I don't know why you have your switch on the table.
That's for my lunch breaks.
But okay, let's see. This person said that they're asking if lawyers are rude and that now they're stuck because they have no idea what to do, and they want to know if you mainly do torts and contracts.
They want to know if I do torts and contracts?
Yeah.
No, I do workers' comp.
Torts and contracts is a completely different field, or contracts are within the...
No, it's a completely different field.
Okay.
Yeah, so workers' comp is simply... Wow, Darius is interrupting me. Workers' comp is simply... It's literally just workers' comp... I mean, work injury that you sustain from your employer. It has nothing to do with contracts or torts. I mean, in those weird...
Injury and psych, right?
Well, it could be more than just psych, but just injury.
Okay.
Injury in general. Any injury that has to do with, you know, a work-related incident.
Okay. So, next question. How much you make?
That's enough.
Enough. It's fair, guys. It's fair.
Enough to keep a family of, how are we, 4?
5.
5. Enough to keep a family of 5 going. We're good. We're doing okay.
You're completely forgetting about my couponing skills.
And
Offend.
with Carla's couponing skills, of course.
Give you the last 3 questions that I think I'm giving you the most like repetitive questions, the ones that I keep seeing the most. So people kind of want to know how much you get paid, but I'm pretty sure that's everyone. You know, people are nosy. But they want to know, how do you get paid? So they want to know if you get paid like hourly and all that stuff.
Oh, okay. They want to know me in general, or what is, like, primarily what is the...
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm an hourly employee. However, in this field, there's 2 ways. You could either be salary or hourly. There's pros and cons on both. But I'm an hourly employee.
Yeah. And I think the hourly and salary just depends on your experience, right?
No.
Or your time working? No?
No. It varies. So the majority of the time, salary is good simply because it's kind of those are guaranteed hours. It's even if you, for example, miss 2-3 hours of work, you're still going to get paid for it. Hourly, you need to make, 40 hours, and if for whatever reason you don't work, you don't get paid for those hours, right? Unless you use sick or vacation time or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
With salary, it's more guaranteed, which sounds good. The problem with salary is that there's mandatory hours. So normally for a salary employee, it's mandatory hours of 45 that you need to meet per week. So you're working more. It doesn't necessarily mean you make more money. I think a lot of people think that, I'm a salary employee, that means I make more money. That's not the case. It just means that they're guaranteed. It's good to have. So in a situation like this, with the coronavirus and everything going on, everyone that's salary essentially is guaranteed to get paid. Everyone that's hourly, if your employer doesn't accommodate you from working from home, then it kind of sucks. You're kind of screwed in that situation. For me, for example, I've been accommodated. I'm perfectly fine. Another thing with salary and hourly are the raises. It changes. The way you negotiate your raises are going to change compared to how you would do it as an hourly employee. So it's kind of a lot to get into, but me alone, I'm an hourly employee.
Yes.
By choice.
And you work 9 to 6, right? Yeah.
9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they were asking. They wanted to know basically like the hours, which essentially would just be a regular office job hours, either 8 to 5 or 9 to 6 with an hour lunch.
So for me, I have exactly. I have an option to work from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. or 8:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. or 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. However, since I enjoy my sleep, I like that extra hour. So I go in from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Very, very true. Alrighty. Next question was, so for your field, since you work in the workers' comp field, they want to know, does it require a lot of math?
Math? Not a lot of math. It does require some math, because in my field, a couple of things. Primarily, you're utilizing math when you get to settlement discussions, and you have to calculate, the TD rate or the PD rate. There's cheat sheets and, there's sites that'll go ahead and generate that for you, but you can always do it manually, and I recommend you learn to do it manually because that's going to help you in looking for a position, in the work comp field. If you can show them, I can do this without a calculator or an app, to calculate this, they're going to love you even more for that. Also, to calculate mileage reimbursements for appointments and depositions, fees, all that, you utilize math, but it's very, very minimal. You don't need to be crazy good at math. I'm not crazy good at math. I actually suck at math a lot, but I'm able to do the bare minimum to get me by. So no, you don't need to. No.
Okay. Next question. People want to know why you chose to go into the paralegal field.
So originally why I did it is so I can essentially go towards pursuing a law degree and becoming an attorney. I didn't know what field I wanted to specialize in, to be honest. So as soon as I graduated, I pretty much just applied it everywhere to see what would land, and it just so happens that I gravitated towards the workers' comp field, and I became really, really good at it. So now I'm comfortable here. So that's kind of the short story of how I ended up where I'm at.
Okay. And then I guess because of the last video, they saw the whole thing where you were doing on the computer. They want to know what tasks you use.
Oh, that was an old video. I don't even remember what I was doing there.
You were at the other firm.
Yeah. What task?
Yeah,
what was I doing?
No, because it was they said that it was organized and all managed nice.
Oh, so the data management that we use at the other firm, my previous firm, was A1. It's each firm you're gonna work at has their own data management system. Hopefully, unless they're not paperless and they're old school and they still use files and stuff, which most firms don't do that anymore.
Yours did, but thanks to you, now they don't.
Mm-hmm. So now we're fully paperless. So my new data management that I use is called Adorant. I like it. It was a bit of a learning curve in the beginning, but it's just as organized. But pretty much any firm you go to, they should have their own organizational management system that's color coded. That's going to be able to let you know what task, what's priority, and as you go, you'll be able to task yourself with certain priorities in color code, red or whatever color you feel is important, and go from there.
All right. Well, there's more questions, but
that's it.
But you're busy and you have to get back to work.
Yes.
And we don't want to take up too much of your time. So thank you so much for this interview. I'm pretty sure a lot of people will find it helpful because they say that there's not a lot of paralegal videos out there. So if you guys have any more questions, feel free to leave it in the comments and we'll go ahead and I'll try to interview him again since I am going to have him here for 4 weeks. Woohoo! Guys, I hope you guys liked the video. Don't forget, give us a thumbs up. Leave those questions in the comments and we'll see you guys in our next video. Bye!
Bye-bye!
And say bye to Darius!
Bye-bye!